Welcome to Melbourne. My name's Frosa, and I wanted to introduce myself and to one of the presentations that I give on the cruises as a guest presenter. This is a subject that's very close to my heart because it covers a country that I was born in, Cyprus, and one of the leading personalities in Cyprus that led the country in a very tumultuous time in its history, where Cyprus came away from the British colony side to a republic. And it was a time when there was a lot of tension, there was fighting, there was a bit of I suppose, a war between the British and the Cypriots to establish the Republic of Cyprus. And this man, President Makarios, was basically leading the way. So for people who don't know where Cyprus is, although it's Greek and Turkish, it is closer to Turkey than Athens and Greece. So it basically sits between Turkey, Syria, Damascus, and Israel. So it's a small country. It's becoming much more popular with tourists, particularly the English, and it still does have regions that are considered British areas. The country suffered through a war in 1974 between Turkey and Greece, and to protect both Greek and Turkish citizens, the country was divided. Cyprus itself is the only country, or Nicosia is the only capital in the world that is actually divided. There's a Turkish and a Greek side, so you can basically walk down one street and half of it is Greek and half of it is Turkish, which seems very strange. But here is Cyprus sitting in the Mediterranean between Turkey, Syria, and Israel. Here we have Crete on one side and Athens here up in the top left-hand corner. So it's an interesting position to be in. This is the person I want to talk about. Now, I've named this presentation Makarios, Saint or Sinner, because he really divided the country. Some people, and he was originally for unification with Greece, and for a long time, and others were totally against it. They did want independence from Britain, but at what expense? Did they want to become part of Greece? And in that case, the Turkish Cypriots weren't happy about it. And so there was a real conflict. So this is a statue that is of Makarios up in the mountains where he's buried. And you can see in the map as well that there's a dividing line here across the country. And this is where Nicosia is, right in the middle. This part is Turkish and this part is Greek. My family was actually born in Cyprus, in towns called Bendaya, Sakista, and Morfu. So they were the three areas where my family predominantly lived. They're now all on the, except for Sakista, they're on the Turkish side of Cyprus, the northern Cyprus as it's now known. So this is just an expanded version. These red regions show the overseas territory, the British overseas territory. So there's still British soldiers in these areas. A lot of British expats live in these regions. There's Limassol here, Buffos, which is close to where Makarios was born. Jikor Monastery is also another important site because this is where he studied to become a monk. I actually went to a wedding that he presided over many, many years ago because my great uncle was a monk at Jikor Monastery, and the home that my mother got from her father as a part of her dowry was actually purchased by my great uncle who was a monk. Morfu, you can see this is Morfu here. This is where my father-in-law is from, and Bendaya, which is where my father's family was from, is here, right on the coast here. And you can see they're all on the Turkish side now. Jerinya, as we call it. If you're in Jerinya, you can actually see the coast of Turkey. So it is very close to Turkey. Famagusta is still an area that's out of bounds. I have some amazing photos of Famagusta, recent photos where it's just still desolate. They haven't done anything with the actual center of the city, which is really surprising that they haven't developed the country, the northern side, to much more than they have. So this is just a short introduction, and I'm going to show you this. This is part of the Jikko monastery. It's a beautiful monastery to go to. It has a museum as well. This is where Makarios spent his early childhood. He was born Michali Christodoulou Muskos. His family was a poor farming family. The amazing thing is that he was given the opportunity to receive an education. His intellect was recognised early by his teachers, and he was given the opportunity, which in 1913, when he was born, that era, it was quite rare for Cypriot children to even finish a high school education. So the fact that he was actually able to do that and go on to university was just amazing. So this is just a short introduction, and hopefully on board the cruise ships, then we'll be able to meet. I'll be able to tell you all about Cyprus and part of my history, the history of Makarios, and what it led to, and enjoy the time on the cruise. Thank you very much.